So what are we going to do today? So let me make this smaller a little bit. Today, we're going to do the deletion of related records, okay? So this has been a big topic for decades now in FileMaker because we have pretty much no control or when we try to use relationship to delete records, right? We have no controls, right? Because when you try to use this here, right? This stuff here, that's okay. When you try to do that, you're in trouble. So first, the first question I have, who ran into who ran into yeah, I need to do something for hey. So so who run into problem with deletion when running this?
How many people have accidentally like deleted stuff where they felt that like, stuff wasn't deleting correctly?
Yeah, so yes, or you get a record deleted that you didn't want to be deleted, right? Sometimes you say, oh, where are my invoices or where are my contacts, right? They're all gone, right? They're all gone, and that's a big problem because we have no control, right? So let me explain. For example, I have this here. I have these tests here, and I say, okay, this is a test project 1, right? And here I have a test project 2, test project 3, right? And here I have a relationship, right? The TO4F. And on the TO4F here, I want to add deletion here, right? So what will happen, right? If I delete this test, if I delete this record, right? So let's say I do delete record, right? So if I delete, it deletes all the related records and the record, right? So pretty much, so let me show you something here. Test, right? And I do again, test project 1, right? Project 2 and project 3, right? So let's go and show those records in my project table, right? So I'm looking for this project. Oh, no, I can't. I'm looking for this account. So this is my free project, right? This is my free project. So what happened? What happened if I delete this record here? If I delete it, delete, those free record goes. Boom. Okay? They go because you said here that when you delete a record here, like you said, delete related record in this table when a record is deleted in the other table. So when I delete here, right, it deletes the record here. But what is the basis for this, right? How it selects the right records, right? Well, it will delete all the records with this ID accounts in this field, where if all the record with this relationship working, right? All the record out of this relationship, right? It will delete the records in this table, okay? Okay, so next time I'm going to lock this dog because it's very annoying. Okay, sorry for that. So, I'm alone in the house, so I cannot ask anybody to do it for me. So, this is a problem because we have no control. We cannot say, we cannot do like deletion, control deletion like that way. So what we do typically, right? We do like a script, we perform find that goes to look for the records, delete the records, right? So it's not really comfortable, right? It's complicated because you need to use a script to do perform find and stuff like this, right? So, but if I said that there's a way that you can still use relationship to delete your records with full control on it, right? So let me explain how to do that. First, never ever or really rarely use this here. Oops. Ah, use this. Don't, right? You don't use it. So I make sure that I have none. Okay. You don't use it here. You don't use this in your main relationship. You know, you don't. Or if you do, you need to make sure that you need that, right? And it should be an exception. Okay. Instead, okay, you create a table. You can name whatever, but I name deletion. This table, I have some field on it. I'm going to explain that, right? I have a table, right? So, and I have a relationship. So I have a world for this. Okay. So let's say now I want to do like I did before. I want to delete the project. I want to delete the related project from one. I want to delete the project from one account, right? So let's do. So I duplicate this, and I'm going to rename this T. Oh, sorry. Oh, I validated. Sorry, there. I click. I I clicked the wrong button. So okay. So 00A, and this is from deletion. I'm surrounded by dogs. It's incredible. So, and they're all the neighborhood. They're all oof. Uh,
It is officially one of those
yeah,
days.
it's a days where everything is a chaos. So it's
Okay, we are back to our
it's
usually
okay.
scheduled programming.
Okay, so let's go back. Okay, so I'm here. Okay, so I want to get the control and delete whatever I want, whenever I want, using a table, right? So let's go back here, right? And I'm going, so I create a relationship here. I have a deletion table, right? I have a relationship. And I want to this relationship to point to the project table. And I rename this. I name this deletion project, right? And this is delete. Okay, deletion project. Okay. So what this relationship will do from the deletion? Well, I have a field here where I'm saying, okay, here, this field, project deletion with the ID accounts. Okay. Because I want to delete all the project related to a given account, right? So I'm creating a relationship where I'm saying delete. When I delete a record from that table, I delete this here, okay? So here what happened. Let's say I have a new account, okay? New account, test, okay? And here I have project one, right? Project two, and project three, okay? And now I want to delete those projects, but I want to get all the control of it. I want to decide what I'm going to delete, right? So I'm going to the deletion table, right? And I'm going to copy this account ID. I'm going to create a record in this deletion table. And on the project deletion, I'm going to put that ID, right? So here I have a record in this table. I have a relationship from this table to the project table. And the relationship is this fields with the ID accounts. Okay. And I ask for, if I delete a record here, it delete the accounts. So if I go there, I look for my project and I look for this account ID. I have my free project, 1, 2, 3, right? They're here. What will happen? What will happen if in this table and not this table, the other table, the deletion table, what will happen if I delete that record, right? I got those deleted. But I didn't delete the accounts. I deleted only the related record of the accounts. Okay. So it's not the action of deleting the accounts that deleted the projects. It's another table where I created a record for to delete whatever I want to delete. Okay. So question is, do you get it? Do you get this concept, or do you need me to explain more?
Are we following along, everybody? Are we confused? Are we on board? This is an important one, or else you'll accidentally delete a lot when you're not looking. Larry would like you to explain more.
Okay. FileMaker will delete all the related record if the main table, the source table, gets a record deleted. That means, for example, if I want to delete the project, right? If I want to delete the project related to that record, following this relationship, I need to delete a record from that table to get all the record related here deleted. If I want all the related record deleted, I need to delete the record here. So so the concept is, instead of putting the deletion option in the real stuff, in the real relationship of the working relationship, of the using, the real relationship, the one you use, the one you show on your layout, right? Instead, I have a dedicated table where I can feed all the IDs of the accounts and whatever option I want to get relationship and to get the record deleted of what I want. So let me explain more. Let me dig more, and maybe you will get it. Okay. So here I said, I want, so let's recreate those projects here. Project 1, right? And 2 and 3, right? So let's say for this account, right, I have 3 project related, right? This account here, if I go there in project, I look for this account, I have 3 record related to that account table, right? But if I delete the record here, right? If I delete that record, oh, not all. If I delete that record, if I delete that record, let's go, those 3 records won't get deleted. Why? Because I have no option here. In this relationship here, I don't have deletion here. It's not here. Okay. So if I delete that record, those will remain. So demonstration, if I delete, so here they are. If I delete that record, hold on, if I delete that record here, they are here. So now I have what we call orphan records. I have projects that belongs to no account because the account 111 is gone now, you know. So those are orphan records, right? Because I have no um, options in that relationship. I have no relationship here, right? That deletes. But I want to be able to um, precisely and decide and get control of the deletion, and make sure of what I'm doing. So instead, let's create this record again. Right. So I want to delete this. But as I said, I don't want to use those relationships here. Instead, I have a table, dedicated table with few fields that I need to get to create a relationship, and then I decide the relationship, right? I decide what I want to do. For example, if I want, let me validate this. If I want to delete those project here, okay, I go to my deletion table, right? New record. I put in this field which account ID I want to delete, the record, which projects I want to delete for which accounts. And instead, I'm deleting this record in this table, and the relationship will do the job and delete those 3 records. Right here. So I have full control. So I know what I've done. I have decided, right? I have decided what I want to do. So for example, let's do it again another way, let's go further. Let's say I want to delete all the projects, right? And I want to delete the account as well when I do this from the deletion table, right? I want to delete 2 things. I want to delete I want to delete the 3 records. So what I want to do is this: project 1, project 2, project 3, right? So I want to, so let me copy this and look for those related record. Okay. Now what I want to do a button. A button that says delete. Okay. I want to delete those records using the technique of the remote deletion, using that table to delete the related records as well as the account table records. I want to delete those 3, those two tables, right? So here I duplicate this and then B, and I said, okay, accounts, using the ID accounts, right? And I'm using the same fields. So let's rename this project deletion, and because that, say, okay, accounts ID deletion. Okay, let's call it account ID deletion. So the account ID deletion related to the project, to the account ID of the project, and that will delete the project. And when I do this in the accounts, right? I said, okay, related to the account table, the same ID, delete this using the account ID. So now I have this table here, one record, one ID. Deleting this record here will delete all the related records with that ID in the project table and in the account table. So demonstration. So let me make sure. Yeah. Okay. So I have delete here and here, right? Okay, skip. So here I have this ID. I have 3 projects related to these accounts. They are here. I'm going to the delete table, deletion table, this dedicated table where I'm creating a new record. I put this, I don't know why it didn't get renamed this. Okay. I put the ID. Remember, from this table here, I have this relationship and this relationship pointing to the ID account of the projects and the account table. This is a dedicated table for deletion, right? So you create a new record in that dedicated table, you put the ID, right? And look what happened. If I delete that record, this record will go and those 3 records will go. Gone. But it didn't happen from a relationship of this world. It's happened on this dedicated table. It's a dedicated table for deletion only. So you cannot do any deletion by accident because you have a dedicated, unique, table for that action. So how, before we go to the question, how you can create a button that do this, right? How I can do a delete record button that delete the project and the account and even the task, for example. I can even ask, okay, if I press this button, you delete all the related project of that account, all the related tasks to that account, and the account itself, right? But not using those live, that data entry table, related, occurrence. You use a dedicated world, super controlled, under your command to do the action of deletion, which is a very dangerous action. There's no way you can recover a deleted record if you do that. You have to go to the latest backup and pray that you have all your records. That's why using delete from those options here is dangerous. Dangerous. Because shit can happen. You could forget that you have that you have a delete option. And then when you get an unexpected deletion of records and you don't know which relationship is doing this, how many of you happen that you scatter delete all over the place here in your live real data entry live relationship, and you put a delete all over the place, and you get record deleted and you don't know why, and you need to spend hours going on every single there and look which one has who happened to whom happened. I'm asking.
Me, yeah, people are saying that's happened to them.
Okay, so this technique, so I have a dedicated world. I have a dedicated thing. This is for deletion. This is nothing else than deletion. And you can, even if you want, you can put this and you can put a super red, like this. This is deletion, right? This is where and you can do, you control, you decide, not FileMaker. So let me show you, for example, I have in this example, I have account with project and task, which is, easy to understand. When I delete, I want to delete all the project, all the task, and I want to delete these accounts, right? But not using any of my data, live, or, any of those. So I can go there, right? And say, for example, I can add task, okay? IDF account, right? Go to task. This will be C. And you say account ID deletion accounts. So now this field, the record that I'm going to create here, a dedicated record, a record I decide to create, I put the ID in that record and I delete that record. So I create the record, I put the ID and delete. And then asking this to delete the record, it will say, okay, hold on. I have a relationship here that you asked me to delete all the project related to that ID account. Also, you asked me to delete all the accounts related to that account. And also you asked me to delete the task, all the tasks related to that account. The free. So let's see, right? So I'm going to new, no, new account. I have a project.
Oh, Nick,
Yes. Yes.
unplug and replug your headphones.
Okay.
Now you're good.
Okay. I have no idea. Okay.
Cool. Now you can keep going. Sorry.
Okay. No, no problem. Okay. So 1, 2, 3. Okay. And I have task A, task B, and task C. Okay. Free project, free task, which, now I want to build this button here, because you don't want to copy the ID and paste the ID. No, you want a script to do that for you, right? So you go to the scripts, create a new script, and you say delete accounts. Okay. So you set a variable and say, okay, let's get, the current account ID, which is this, the one you sit in. You sit in this, so you want this, right? Then you go to the layout and you go to the deletion layout, right? You set the fields and you say in the deletion layout, in the deletion table, where is the deletion table? Deletion. And you set, first you set a new record, okay? Then you go to the deletion and you say the ID account for deletion, and you say you want this current ID, right? So the script goes, take the ID of where you're in, go to the layout deletion, create a new record, set the field that is going to control, you know, is going to set your control deletion, right? And then you say delete that record. Delete record. And of course, you say go back, go to layout original. Okay. So I get the ID, go to the deletion table, create a record, set the ID in that field that is going to control the deletion, and I delete that record, right? And then I go back to my layout. So let's see. Perform scripts, delete accounts. Let's see if it's the right one. Yeah. Right. Okay. So let's see. I am in this account, right? Delete. I get the ID, right? So I have the ID here. Current ID account 39123912. That's okay. Go to deletion, new record, set the field, delete the record, and go to the original layout. See, yeah, right? So it didn't do anything because I need a commit. I need a commit record here. So you do a new record, you set the field, you commit, and then you delete. You know, we need a commit here. That's why it didn't work. So let's do. Get the ID, go to the layout deletion, new request, set the field, commits, and now I delete. So what will happen here, right? It will delete all the record, the related record. So let me do something before I do this. Let me do a new, because I want you to see what happened, right? So instead of let's do a new window. Then I want you to see that those records go, right? That's what I want you to see this. I want you to see this, that will go, okay? So delete, okay? So you can see this record here. I'm getting the ID, go to the layout, new request, set the field, commit, and now I delete. Boom, goes, and go back. Okay? So let's go to the question.
Account delete is in a global?
No, it cannot be a global. It needs to be a record with a real fields to trigger the deletion via relationship. If you put a global here, it will never work. It needs to be a real field in the deletion. A real field. So now, do we have another question?
How to delete one of the 3 projects?
Yeah, so that I'm coming here. I'm coming here. So now I want to, to be smarter than this. Okay. And it's a good question because I was going there, I want to delete projects, but not all of them. Okay. I want to delete some of them. Right. So how I do this? Okay. Well, in that case, right, I need to go to the deletion. Right. But for the demo, I need another. So this is account ID deletion all. Okay. And now I have deletion selected. Right. I have 2 IDs. I have 2 fields because, I want to control my deletion. And then I need projects, IDs, deletion selected. So I have the account ID deletion selected and the project IDs deletion selected, right? So let's say I want to delete from that, from an account, I only want to delete the last project, for example, the last project of the list. Okay, so first, let's create the record again, right? You will see it's pretty wild what we can do with this, right? And things that you can, things again that will be a very, very cumbersome and difficult to do, practically impossible to do with a perform file. To be honest with you, what I'm going to do now is pretty much impossible. I'll tell you. So to do that with other than what I'm going to do. So let's say I have a new record, right? I have project 1, project 2, project 3, and project 4, right? I have 4 projects, right? Okay. So I want from that account, delete only project 4 and 3, or 4 and 2, for example, So I'm going to my relationship here, and I'm going to push down a little bit this, make this here, and continue my relationship. This is the to project using IDF account delete selected, only some selection. Okay. What does do? I say I want the ID I'm going to put in this field, right? Here, right? Oh, I'm in task order. Need to be in project. So the ID I'm going to put here with the ID, and the ID of the project that I'm going to put here with the ID project. So the relationship will say, okay, you put an ID account here. If it matched this one, it's okay. You're going to put one ID, 2 IDs, 3 IDs, 10 IDs, whatever, that match the project. If the 2 combined matches, I'm going to delete them. Demonstration. If I go to my projects and I'm showing those, oh, I have this button, stupid me. Those are my projects, okay? The project related to that account, right? So that's my 4 projects. And what I want from the deletion table, so let me put those fields here. And this one is particular because I can put many. Let's say now I'm going to create a record here, right? But I completely ignore those. This is the one I'm going to use now. Those are fields I'm going to use. I want this account, right? And I want project number 4 and project number 2. Correct? So I have 2 fields. accounts, project number 4, and project number 2. Whatever the the order, I could have done this, it's not a problem, whatever, right? So what happened if I delete that record? Okay, this delete, look here. Boom. In this account, I deleted those two, the 2 and the 4. He got the selection for me. He got the selection for me. Correct? So now, let me go further a little bit. Okay? Let's put back project 4, 2, and project 4. Okay? In these new accounts. And now I'm going to create a new account 2. And I'm going to create a project A, project B, project C, D, and E. Okay? This is where this technique gets wild. And if you want to restitute this to do something, to do a control deletion at that level of sophistication using a script, perform finds, good luck. Good luck. I know it's impossible, so that's why I'm wishing good luck. I know it's impossible to do. So I want to do something wild. I want to delete from that accounts I want to delete from that account. I want to delete project 1 and project, I don't know which, project 2. Okay? And from this accounts, I want to delete project B and project D. Right? So let's imagine 2 minutes here, 2 seconds, that you want to do that with a perform find. I'll ask you, do you think it is possible to do that level of sophistication to get those projects deleted? I'm showing you here, right? So I did my combination, right? And now I'm going to delete that record and look the magic. Ha! Right? Speechless?
This is. Oh, we have a question.
Uh-huh.
Uh, yeah, people are saying nice. You only need the project UUID or no?
Yes, you need so you need to invent, I don't know, a clicking selection. Or you say, okay, I want to do this one, click selection. Maybe tomorrow I can build that for you. You select this project, right? You can build a UI. It's missing the UI. I'm explaining the concept, showing you the ID, copy paste. I'm showing you the concept here, right? That you can go wild, and I'm not done. I'm far from being done. you know So you can do a very, very tactic bombing, like they did in Iran, right? Because you can go, select exactly what you want, and you can build your stuff to help you for the deletion, for example, right? So if we don't have another question, I can go further.
We have some more questions. As a side note, Nick, I have to go on a vet visit, hilariously.
Okay,
So
yeah.
we need to wrap up in the next 10-ish minutes.
Okay, yeah, sure.
Uh,
So yeah, let's go with the question then.
if you don't set the delete record and is related to not equal, it will delete all.
No, that's the beauty. So no, tell me again the question.
If don't set the delete record and is related to not equal, will delete all.
Yeah, it will delete the others. Yeah, so we can do that. For example, let's change this, let's change it, and you say, don't delete those, keep those, delete others, for example, right? This is how we do. That's another good side effect. So let's say I'm going to recreate the project B and D, here, right? And from this account, here, from this account, I want to, um, keep this A and keep this B. So that means it will delete all of them that are not those within the buckets of this ID account. It won't delete anything else that is not in this bucket. That's why it's safe. That's why it's controlled. You know what you're doing here, right? It's not wild. It's not something, because if you put something like this in your relationship here, whoa, that's not a tactic bombing. This is a nuke. You nuke yourself. You toss the bomb in your face. See if you do that. You don't want. So if I delete that record now, right? That's what he's doing. He kept the A and B. So imagine the power of this when you say, okay, I want to delete that my example for tomorrow, right? I want to delete records from that date to that date. I want to delete the record in 2024, right? Or I want to delete the record, or I want to delete all their, I don't know, holiday records, for example. So you put your date of the holidays, and then you go and you delete only all those records. It's endless, the possibility. So tomorrow, so since you need to go tomorrow, I'm going to show you, for example, here I have task, active, inactive, right? So you say, oh, I want to remove all the inactive one, right? So I'm going to show you the 1 and 0. And you say, oh, I want to remove all of them, the active and inactive, right? I'm going to show that. I'm going to show the project. I'm going to add dates on the project here. And I'm going to say, okay, I want to remove all the project from that date and further, and older, for example, right? All of this using this technique. Also, I'm going to show you that here I have a bunch of records. right? Are we okay with this? I have a bunch of records here. And if I delete this record using, and I'm deleting this record, all those related records locally under shared on the server, right? Um, shared on server file, it will take forever. Whoever had, before we go, this gathering record freaking dialogue for hours sometime. Gathering records, is that sounds to you?
Yes, that's
What
a
if I'm saying that with this controlled deletion, you can remote, you can delete your related record on demand based on the ID on server. That means poof, deleted. Not like gathering records for hours. Like it happened to me, I had like millions of records on the other side here that I want to delete. It was, took like 5 hours, something like this to delete. And it took like 25 seconds on server, right? But if you don't have this technique of mine, the remote, I call that remote deletion. If you don't have this technique here, right? Well, there's no way you can do that, or very cumbersome and dangerous because you put your stuff, you delete stuff in your, right? So, long story short, yes, you can. If you have a very simple deletion system, or you say, oh, okay, for that account, delete all project and all tasks. Yeah, you can say, go to layout, perform find, look for the record for that account, delete all. You can do a script like this, right? But when it comes to do what I just did here, delete this record, but not this one, keep those, you know, and in these two accounts, delete those, it's impossible because you cannot hard code these. You can't, right? You can't. And then the perform find, it won't be as sharp than the relationship. The problem is if you scatter the deletion option in your real working relationship here, you're doomed, right? So that's why we need um, you need that technique. So we can dock the enterprise maybe.
people are typing. This is awesome, Nick.
Yeah, tomorrow we will we dive a little bit more, showing you the technique with the 1 and 0, how this could be very, very useful, and how to make this to work on server,
Yes,
right?
and I do see there are two questions here which we can't answer right now, but I do see
Yes.
them, people. So I'm saving them for tomorrow. We will catch them tomorrow morning. So y'all show up earlier, and I will grab your question to answer.
Yes. Yes, we will.
So, okay.
So sorry
Yes.
for the dog stuff but
No, that's
tomorrow.
it's fine. We have adventures over here. All right. Thank you very
So
much, Nick.
thank
Sorry, go ahead.
you, and have a fantastic day.
Yes, we will see you all tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.